Hi.
Hannah.
I'm sorry, Ryan.
It's
I
okay.
was waiting the upload of the Skype.
Oh, okay. I see. That's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine. That's fine. How are you?
Yes, I am very good.
That's good.
How
That's good.
about you? How was your week?
I'm good. I'm good. The week was. You know what's so funny? Because I'm staying home every day. Like, time moves so much slower now.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
I agree with you.
yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
It's
I
only.
felt the same.
Yeah, yeah. So I can't believe it's been like, it's been like, it, it's only like it's only like Saturday, but it feels like it's been 3 weeks. You know, it's only been 1 week. It feels like three. So yeah, time is
So,
going
so
so much
it's
slow.
like I haven't seen you for 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Gosh, but I mean, everything is going well. I think work is keeping me busy. Um, you know, because I have other people who are home, but they aren't working, so they get so bored because they have nothing to do. They have nothing to do all day long. So I'm happy that I'm working during the day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
if I didn't work, I wouldn't have nothing to do. I'd be bored all day. So yeah.
yeah. Does the epidemic um does the epidemic influence your salary, wage? How do you call
No,
that?
no.
Salary or wage?
Salary, yeah, yeah. I think like
Salary. Does it influence?
no, not for me, but so I'm salary, right? But
Yeah.
people who work wage, they are working like per hour, like they work like maybe $13 per hour or like $14 per hour. So that's their wage, Um but because I'm salary, it doesn't matter how many hours I work. I'm always going to be paid the same amount of money every year, you know? So, but the people who work on a wage, they it affected them because a lot of people, they're not working now, so they don't have any income. So yeah,
Yeah.
it affected the wage workers, but not really the salary workers.
What's the difference between salary or wage?
Okay, so salary workers means like let's say I get paid every 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's say, for example, I'm a salary worker and I didn't work for 2 weeks. I didn't work for 2 weeks. Let's say I took a vacation for 2 weeks, right? I would still get paid for that. Even though I didn't work those 2 weeks, I would still get paid, because I'm a salary worker, right? Because I'm supposed to be getting paid the same amount of money every year, right? So it doesn't matter if I'm working or not, like I'm still going to get paid my salary. But wage workers, they get paid only if they work. So
Yeah,
if
yeah.
a wage worker took a 2 week vacation,
They don't get
they don't
paid.
get paid because they didn't work. So wage workers, they work per hour. They work per hour. So they work like, um, you know,
Which is better? Which one can get more money?
that's a great question, Hannah. That's a great question. So I think both of them have their ups and downs. They both have their pros and cons, their benefits and disbenefits. So I think benefit of a salary worker is that even if you are sick and you can't go into work, let's say you take a like sick day, right? You still are
Yeah,
gonna get paid for that sick day, right?
yeah,
But with wage workers, if they get sick and they take a sick day, they're not gonna get paid for that sick day. So that's one of the benefits of salary workers. You're always getting paid, even though you're not working. Um, the good thing about wage workers is that they can get paid overtime. So if they are only scheduled to work maybe 8 hours a day, right? Like, okay,
yeah.
you're gonna work from like 8 to 4 o'clock or something like that, right? Um, and they work more than that. If they work like 10 hours, then they're gonna get paid overtime for hours, right? So they're gonna get paid 2 hours overtime. So they can actually make more in a year if they work more hours. So that's one good thing about wage workers. Um, One other thing, I don't know if wage workers have this, but I think depending on your company that you work for, you can have a retirement plan. So like like a plan that you could put money away for
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
retire and
yeah.
stuff like that, right? So some wage workers don't have that. They don't have that option to have a retirement
Yeah.
plan, but salary workers get retirement plans, so their company offers them a retirement plan. So my company offered me a retirement plan. Um, but like for example, like my brother, he's a wage worker, so his company didn't offer him a retirement plan. Um, but but some wage workers have it because their companies are big and their companies are good, but most of the time wage workers don't have that option. So yeah, there's a lot of differences in it. um,
It depends on your company, right?
yeah, pretty
Depends on your
much.
company.
Yeah,
So, for example, in your company, most of the workers are salary workers, but
exactly.
in some small companies, they just need wage workers.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty much it.
I think it's the same in China, but in China, sometimes if you want to be a salary worker, you need to take part in some kinds of examinations, like to prove yourself.
Yeah. That's exactly what I did actually. So
Yeah,
all right, so before I got my position, I was I had to do like 4 interviews to get the position I'm in. So the
yeah,
first interview was like, my manager was asking me a few questions about my background, right? Like, oh, how long have you worked with software technology and blah blah blah. And then the second interview was me doing an exam. So they gave me an exam to do.
paper.
Yeah, and I had to do coding, right? So I had to create an application in 3 days. So I had 3 days to
Wow,
create an
wow,
application.
that's cool.
It was so hard. It was scary. I was working every day from like when I woke up till I went to sleep. I was working every day. And I finished it and I submitted it. And the next interview was a face-to-face interview. So I had to interview with the whole team. So that was like a 2 hour long interview where I interviewed with the manager, I interviewed with the business, the BA. I think they call them the business um, analyst, I think. And then I interviewed with the other engineers on the team. So the other engineers, there was 3 other engineers, and they looked at my code. They looked at the application that I built, and
Yeah.
they asked me a few questions. So I was so nervous because I didn't know they were going to ask me questions. So they asked me a lot of very technical questions. Some software engineering questions and stuff like that. So I had to answer them.
They just want to know if you did it by yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Um, so I answered those questions, and I think that was the last interview that I had. And then after that, they made their offer, and then I accepted it and stuff like that. So yeah, for salary workers, you have to go through a lot more um, examination before you offer the salary job. But wage workers, maybe it's a little easier,
Easier.
yeah, to get a
Yeah,
wage job. Yeah. So you're right.
So how often do you get paid? A month or
We get
a
paid.
year?
We get paid like per month. We get paid twice a month, so it's like every 2 weeks. Um, so I think we get paid like maybe 30 times, like 30 times a year, I think.
30
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
So
But
can you get a higher salary year by year? I mean, if the contract every
yeah,
year you should sign the contract, right?
um,
Your
um,
salary.
yeah. I think so. Over here, like we don't have to actually sign a new contract. I think it's more like you get a raise.
Promotion?
Yeah, it's like a raise. Um, so you won't have to sign a new contract, but you will have like an extra like $3,000 or like $5,000 added to your salary, um, and that happens like maybe every year. Um, every year, like we meet with our manager, and we do like kind of like an assessment of like what I did for the year, right? So, you know, how I was able to interact with the team, how I was able to complete work, and how I was able to, you know, do other things that was outside of my job, because they want to see that, you know, you're able to um, do things outside of your job, not just to go to work and then do your work and leave. They want to see that you do other things outside of work. So maybe you are putting on events, you know.
So you should be competitive
Yeah,
and yeah,
they want to see that you're doing more than just work. They don't want to see people who just do enough, right? They want to see people who do more than
yeah.
enough. Yeah,
Yeah. So can you get the I mean the longer you live in the same company, the more you can get from the
exactly,
company. Is that right?
exactly. Yeah, that's true. So that's the case for salary workers. I'm not sure about wage workers. I think it doesn't matter how long you stay with a company. For a wage worker, you're gonna
You get the
you get the
same.
same. But if you're a wage worker and they promote you to a different position, then that usually that position comes with a greater wage, right? So I think for wage workers, they have to get promoted for them to get a pay increase. But if they don't get promoted, they pretty much get paid the same for years and years and years and years. So
Yeah, I think it happens in China. It's I think it's the same.
yeah, yeah,
The system.
that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Yeah,
So
yeah.
okay. So can you tell me something about your about bill culture?
Yeah, yeah. So I remember you were asking questions about that. So like for us, like bills, right? So I think it's usually we usually can just pay it like online now. But the thing is that like a lot of people don't really know that they can pay stuff online. So like for example, like rent, right? Rent
Yeah.
is primarily the the building management will send a letter in the mail saying, "Hey, you know, you have to pay," and then they'll usually send in that mail that they send you, they'll send a return envelope that you put the
Yeah.
money, the rent in, and then you mail it back to the management. So we still do it like that, but there's some management companies that are moving away from that, and like now they are more online now. So you can actually request to have all of your bills emailed to you instead of like mailed to you, right? And
Yeah.
then also they have like also you can actually talk to your bank and like say, okay, I want you to send this amount of money every month to this
Yeah.
address, you know.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like you can work with your bank to do that. So that's called like automating your bill payments. So
Automating.
yeah, automating.
Automating.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the what I do now. I just automate all of my bills. Um, automating your bills.
Automating
Yeah.
your bills.
Yeah, so that's what I do.
Yeah.
So literally, like, I haven't looked at any of my bills like since like September, October, November, December, January, February, March. So it's been like 7 months, 7 months since I looked at any bills, you know, because like everything is just happening automatically, you know, like I don't have to write a check, I don't have to put money and send it away, you know, everything's happening automatically, because I set it up already, you know, I set up all my bills
Yeah.
automatically. So I think like is that's how you do it too, right? Like China?
Yeah. I think every person does it in
Yeah.
China because if I want to buy something, if I rent a house,
Yeah.
if I borrow money from a bank,
Mm-hmm.
and I will be given account number or something like that, and I use my application to transfer the money to that account,
Right, right.
and I will I will get a screenshot using my phone
Yeah.
and to prove that I did it. Just
Yeah.
like this, it's very easy.
Yeah, that's a great
I
point.
think it's the same,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
It's just the
it's
same.
exactly the same. But the only thing that is like scary about that is um when those companies, when they change the amount of money that you're supposed to be paying every month. So like, let's say for example, I have Netflix, right? And I'm paying maybe like $10 every month, and I automated that payment, right? So every month, I'm just gonna be paying $10 to Netflix, $10 to Netflix, $10 to Netflix. But then maybe one month, Netflix says, "Hey, we're gonna change our subscription, and now everybody's gonna be paying $20 a month, right?" And because you automated it, you don't even look at your bills anymore because of that. Now Netflix is gonna be taking $20 and $20 and $20. Um, and you would never know because you automated it, and like, the companies can just change their prices and people would never know that they're paying more. um, and that's happened a lot to a lot of people. A lot of people just I think it was some people's rent goes up. So some people's rent goes up for their apartments, and they don't even know it, but now they're paying more every month, and they don't know because
They would be angry.
yeah,
Be angry.
yeah, they were angry. Yeah, so it's happened a few times. Like, companies know that more and more people are automating their payments, and because companies know that, they try to take advantage of people sometimes. So they try to, they try to raise up their bills maybe by like $5, and then sometimes people don't even notice the $5, and then they say, okay, let's raise it up another $5. So people don't notice it if it's small changes.
Yeah.
So that's the only bad thing about it.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Yeah.
How many bills should you pay every month?
Oh boy. Okay, so I pay the bill for the rent, Wi-Fi, um, TV, and
Netflix is a kind of TV.
oh yeah, Netflix. So
I think it's company
yeah,
for making movies.
yeah, Netflix. Yeah, Netflix is a company that makes movies. Yeah, um, they makes movies and TV shows on Netflix. Do you have Netflix?
No, I don't have that.
Oh, okay.
What is it for?
Yeah, it's for TV shows and like movies. So basically, when you buy a Netflix account, you have access to over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of movies and shows that that are popular.
Yeah. We have many applications in China, like
Oh.
Netflix.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Um, yeah, and then I think like, yeah, and then like I also have the music streaming online, like like iTunes, like that.
Yeah.
Um, oh, also I used to have to pay for a car. When I was living back in North Carolina, so I was paying for a car, and then when I came back to New York, it got too expensive, so I just sold it because like I was gonna have to pay $500 every month for my car. Um, so that was way too much money for me. So so I had to sell my car. I had to sell her. I was so sad. I was like,
Yeah.
my heart broke
So
when I
how
was
do you
selling
go
it.
to work now if you don't have a car?
I take the train now. So because it's more convenient to take the train in New York. So that's what I do now. But yeah, like, my heart broke so much that day. Like, my heart broke
You
when
can
I
buy
saw
another
the.
one,
I know,
a
but
more beautiful one.
maybe, but it's not gonna be the same. I'm gonna always remember her. Will always remember her. Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, New York is just expensive. New York is very expensive. So
Yeah.
yeah. What about you? How many bills do you pay?
I don't know. for example, the water, the electric,
Mm-hmm.
the machine for warming up. In my city, it is cold in winter, so
Yeah.
the
Oh, you
the
have like
fee
a
for
heater, right? It
yeah
heats up the
just like a heater.
Okay.
The heater cost about I think it's $400 every month. Yeah, I need to pay for about 5 months because the winter lasts 5 months every
Oh,
year.
okay.
So the winter is more expensive for me than in summer. And the TV, just like you said, and music, just like you mentioned, and I don't know. Yes, about the apartment. Yes, in China we just owe the money from the apartment from the bank to buy apartment or a car.
Mm-hmm.
So the the time will last for about 10 years or 20 years. So
okay.
you should pay
So you're just
a
paying the
lot of
bank.
money. Yeah, pay to the bank
Oh, okay.
every month.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's the same. That's the same here. The same here that we do.
It's about I think it's about in total I should pay about $1,000 every month.
Oh, every month? Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Okay.
But in China, it's very expensive.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, a meal is just cost about $3 for one meal.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
wow.
If you just want to eat a bowl of noodles or just like a rice and dish, it costs about $3.
Wow. I need to think about moving to China.
Yeah. You can come.
Yeah.
Even if you are in a big city like Beijing or Shanghai, the meal costs less in New York, I think.
Wow. Yeah, you're probably right. It's just so funny. It's like, I live in Brooklyn, so but if I buy like a meal here, it's cheaper than if I go to Manhattan. So Manhattan is like, New York City, where everybody knows about Manhattan. So Manhattan is expensive. It's like the same meal that I buy in Brooklyn, it's maybe like $10. If you go to like New York City, if you go to Manhattan, it's like $30.
$30 for what?
For like, let's say, I would say maybe like spaghetti, broccolis, like chicken, just like a traditional like American meal. It's like maybe like $30, yeah.
It's very expensive.
Yeah, it is. It's very expensive. That's why I try not to eat out often. I try to make my own food and take it with me when I leave the house, because if you buy food every day in New York, you probably are gonna spend like
bankrupt.
Yeah, you bankrupt. Yeah, pretty much, like $30 every day. That's for a month. That's 30 days in a month. So that's like $900. Paying like $900 every day.
Just
every
like
month.
All my bills.
Exactly, right? Yeah.
So expensive.
It is.
So in United States, do people buy a house or apartment, or they just rent?
I would say people rent when they're younger, and then they start thinking about buying when they're older. So like for me, I'm not buying yet because I don't know if I want to live in New York yet. So I'm just renting for now, and then maybe I'll move to a different part of America. Maybe I'll move to Texas. Maybe I'll move to California. I don't know yet, right? So I don't want to start buying a house yet until I know where I want to stay, where I want to live, So, but then other people, they buy when, maybe they have a girlfriend, and maybe they want to start settling down. So that's when they start to look for a house or look for an apartment to buy. So it really just depends on the person, really. I would say a lot of people rent in New York. A lot of people don't really buy in New York because if you want to buy in New York, you need to be like a superstar. You need to be like, you need to be, oh my gosh, you need to have a lot of money, pretty much.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, so that's it. But the thing is that a lot of people buy houses around New York. So even though they don't buy in New York, they buy close to New York. So like, New Jersey is close to New York. So some people will like buy a house there, and it's only New Jersey
Yeah,
is only like maybe 20 minutes away from New York City, right? So they just commute to New York. You know,
yeah.
it's not that far. So it's way cheaper to buy in New Jersey. So a lot of people do that. Um, so if they want to be still close to New York, but they don't want to pay a lot of money, they just buy a house in New Jersey.
Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah.
happens in China. And I have another question. I just forgot it.
Mm.
If you buy a house, I mean, can if you buy a house, how many years can you own the house? In China,
Oh
it is
yeah.
70 years.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, 70? 70?
70, 70.
Wow. I would say like the average is maybe like 30.
30.
Yeah. So like, I think it takes like 30 years to pay everything so that you can own the house. Yeah.
Oh, in China, if you buy a house, you can own it for 70 years, and if you die, I mean, if
Yeah.
if people die, they can leave the house to their children, and
Yeah.
if their children die, and they can leave the house to
Yeah,
their
yeah.
grandchildren.
Yeah, that's the same here too. So you mean like how long can they own it, or like how long do they have to pay the bank until they own it? Right? Is that what the question? Because
No, no,
usually,
no.
okay.
Owen.
Oh,
The
okay.
house is
I mean,
yours.
I mean like it once you finish paying the bank, then you own it. So if it takes you,
Forever?
yeah, forever. Yeah.
Wow,
Wait, so
that's
it's
better.
so it you don't get to own it forever in China?
Yeah. You just own it for 70 years. 70 years is about 3 generations, I think.
So then after 70 years, what happens? You get kicked out?
Yeah.
Wait,
And the house will be broke down maybe to build another one.
what? So what's
And sometimes the government will pay a amount of money, but the money maybe cannot offer you
another
the same
house?
house.
Yeah. Wow. I'm shocked. I am
Why?
shocked because I thought that okay, so in my eyes, if my like let's say my granddad bought a house, right? So he finished paying the
Yeah.
bank and everything. So now the house is completely my family's, right? Um, I would be shocked if like I'm growing up, and then somebody knocks on my door and says, "Hey, this house is no longer your house anymore. Here's money. Get out. We're gonna take this house from you." I'll be shocked because like I thought that my grandparents finished buying it and my grandparents owned the house. Yeah.
I think the difference is that your house is more strong, but
Mm.
we live in apartment.
Yeah.
The apartment cannot last 70 years actually.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, maybe 20 or 30 years it will be broken down to build another
The
one.
better one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
But
sense.
a house can stand longer, maybe 400 years,
Yeah,
older
yeah.
house,
Yeah.
700 years,
That makes
maybe.
sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know some people who buy houses and they never want to leave that house. So like even like sometimes there will be like construction. They want to make like a mall or something like that, like a shopping mall,
Yeah.
and sometimes they need to destroy all the old houses in the area so that they can make a shopping mall. But there'll be some people who want to keep their house, and they were saying, "No, you can't destroy my house. I don't care how much money you're gonna give me. I'm gonna keep my house." And then because they don't want to leave their house, they have to make like a shopping mall around the house. So it's like sometimes you'll see a shopping mall, so they have to have like one shopping mall here, one shopping mall here, like because
And private house in
yeah,
the
right, and the
middle.
house is like in the middle. So
Oh, it's not gonna happen in China.
oh
The
really?
government will destroy your house by cutting down your electricity, cutting down your water. You
Ah,
can live. You
they
cannot
can't
live
so
in
you
that
can't live there
house.
no more. Okay, wow.
Uh,
Yeah, no, like see,
you should accept that. You must
you
accept
must
that.
accept it. Yeah, see, in America, that doesn't happen. If the person doesn't want to leave, then they can stay. You know. Yeah.
You have more rights.
Yeah. That's true.
It
That's
is
true.
good to be American.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess. I just feel like because we have more rights, I think because people become more, how do I say it, stupid. Just because like everybody is saying stay inside, don't go outside and stuff like that, but because we aren't forced to stay inside, people still go outside and people still get close to other people and stuff like that. Um, and the government can't take our right to leave our house, right? Like we can leave our
Yeah.
house, the government can't take it, but because they can't take it away from us, people still go outside and they get sick and then they infect other people, and that I think that's the reason why like it's been spreading so crazy in New York City because
Yeah, I think it's about 350,000
yeah, it's like
people
yeah, it's like
per
300.
day.
Yeah, yeah. I think like the total cases in New York City right now is 300,000 right now, and it's just because
300,000?
300,000 people, and it's just because like New Yorkers we don't listen to anybody. New Yorkers think like nothing can happen to us because we are New Yorkers. I'm from New York, the toughest place in the world. Like nothing's gonna happen to me, and that's the reason why we have the worst case. It's just because people don't listen here. Um, yeah, so because the government can't force us to stay inside, people just do what they want, and they get sick, and then they spread it to other people. So yeah,
I think the real number actually is much larger than 300,000
300,000.
because some people they just stay at home, they don't know they got sick.
Mm.
And sometimes a few people they don't have the symptoms.
Yeah, yeah. That's the scariest part. They
Yeah,
those people they call them asymptomatic cases.
asymptomatic
Yeah,
cases.
asymptomatic cases. Yeah, because they don't um show any symptoms, they think that they're healthy. So that's why they go outside and they touch people, they get close to people because they think
Wow.
they're fine, you know. And I don't even know because like I want to get tested to see if I have the virus because I don't know. What if I'm asymptomatic? What if I'm one of those people? I don't know. Um, but it's hard to get tested now because there's been so many cases in New York and because the healthcare systems are the systems right now are at their limit. They're at their capacity. They can't
Yeah,
really
yeah.
they can't really take any more people. So that's why it's hard to get like a test right now. I wanted to get tested, um, but they keep saying unless you have very bad symptoms, then we're not going to test you because they have way too many people right now. They can't keep testing everybody and testing everybody. So right now, like the healthcare system is really, really desperate in New York. They are looking for help anywhere. They're asking people to from different parts of the country to come to New York to help because there's just so many. There's so
New
many.
York is the worstest part in US.
Yeah, it's the worst. It's the worst part in the U.S. Yeah. So they're actually offering to pay healthcare workers who are working in other parts of the country to come to New York. They're saying, hey, if you come to New York to help us, we're gonna pay you $20,000, or we're gonna pay you like $30,000, because it's that bad. We need so much help because if you think about it, we only have like I think maybe like I think, is it 18 hospitals? I think it's 18 hospitals. Maybe it's 18 or 80. I'm not sure. But basically, all out of all those hospitals, we only have like 75,000 beds, right? So because we only have 75,000 beds and we have 300,000 cases, it's not enough. So it's like so they have to start building new hospitals so that they can help, so that they can start.
Contain
Yeah,
the
because
order.
yes, they like right now it's just out of control. It's just there's no control because it's too much for the healthcare system. So they're building new hospitals, and they're asking people to come so that they can work in those new hospitals, so that they can start controlling the outbreak, because if they don't control it, it's just gonna keep spreading and spreading and spreading.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So I hope you can stay at home all the time.
Yeah, I'll try.
Okay.
All right.
If I have any question, I will tell you on WeChat.
Okay, that sounds good.
Thank you,
All right, thanks, Hannah.
Ryan.
All
You
right.
can go to sleep now.
Oh,
Thank you
okay.
for giving me the lesson.
Yeah, no problem. This was fun. It was fun talking to you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.